edition. Let everybody know this that new rap edition. I got what you're missing. This that bomb man. Listen, get it, got it, good like it ought to be. Treat me like a king. All these girls want to spoil me. Crush them like the secretaries on Brooklyn, baby. Keep it calm, catch your breath. You wanna miss them steps? I'm so on fleek. Skill level, tight, unique. From Broadway to Bell Road. Homie, watch me get it. You gotta want it, really hit it. Respect the moves, time to pivot. In the middle of the winter, my whole town so summer. Yes.
Yes. We are here. How you doing, MFC? Good morning. Dr.
Good
Job
morning.
Imperial, Winning Cipher. We're here. We're here to bring you that morning drive. What's
Hump
going
day.
on? Yes, it's that Wednesday. Oh my God, one of them days.
You're
How are you
halfway
doing?
through. You're
Halfway through.
halfway through.
It just started. Just started. Oh man. What's going on in the middle of the week for you? Is it still cold up there?
Yeah, it's on and off, but the storm is coming. You know, the hurricane that hit Puerto Rico and then Dominican Republic and the Bahamas. Now it's heading to Bermuda, and by tomorrow we'll be getting crazy rain. And then they said the temperature is going to drop for a few days.
Wow.
Yep.
That's that good weather.
Well, you know, September goes all over the place. So
Yeah, September, that's the month. September and October, people get colds up east.
yeah,
They're not dressed properly. I remember those days. So what's going on?
it's true. It's true.
What's going on in the rector? The radar for
Well,
you.
and I have a story. This happened in Orange County near Hillsborough, North Carolina, and it started on Saturday. And the stepfather, when he went to, it's I'm sorry, two youngsters were killed. The girl, her name is um, Lyric Woods. She's 14 years old. She's a freshman in high school. And
Uh,
Devin Clark, he's 18 years old. He's a senior in high school, and he's also a football player.
ooh,
Uh, so the family of Lyric Woods, the stepfather went to wake her up for breakfast Saturday morning at 10 a.m. She wasn't in her bed. So they waited until the afternoon, and then the stepfather put in a missing report
and this is
on her.
Sunday? On a
That no,
Sunday?
no, this is still Saturday
Saturday. Okay.
afternoon.
So she snuck
Right,
out Friday night. Okay.
right. Yeah, she snuck out Friday night. So apparently, um, they had the bloodhounds that followed her scent, and they found her. You know, they went through the woods or whatever, and then there was a clearing, and then it stopped. So there was a witness that someone in the area said that they saw a young girl about 3 in the morning get in a car, and that's what happened in her side. Now, as far as the boy Clark, he they didn't put his family didn't put a missing report in until Sunday morning. Okay, thinking maybe he's hanging with friends or whatever, but anyway, and their body wasn't found. It's as a matter of fact, there was two guys on what they call four-wheelers that
Mm-hmm.
found the two teens in a ravine, and their body was bullet ridden
Ooh.
and stuff. So someone that was in the area of where the crime scene was stated that that evening, being Saturday morning somewhere during the night, they heard about 15 shots.
Okay.
So this apparently this happened Saturday, late Saturday night after she left. So this
Mm.
happened pretty quickly. So again, so they have a suspect that they're a person of interest who's 17 years old. He's still at large. They're looking for him, and the grandfather of Lyric Woods, the 14-year-old, is put out a $10,000 cash reward. He will pay in
Uh,
cash for anybody for the capture of anyone responsible for his granddaughter's death, for her
mm.
murder and stuff like this. So this is an ongoing case, but it's really, here you have a 14-year-old and both of these kids, they're good in school. There's no problem. There's no gang affiliation. So they don't know, you know, so parents
What do
on
you
both
what,
sides about it, of
what
course,
you think that
everybody's
is?
at a loss.
Sounds like a crazy boyfriend or I don't know, love triangle type of thing.
Maybe, or
Yep.
or they were coaxed out or something. We don't,
Yeah,
again,
that's
by the by the boy's family putting out the missing report Sunday. It was only a few hours. They found their bodies at 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon.
hmm
So it was like, like less than 2 days. And
hmm
so this is an
Ooh.
ongoing investigation and stuff like that. But it's just a sad story, that
And where was this
had
at again?
this was in it's called Orange County near Hillsborough, North Carolina.
Yeah, I thought Orange County. They must have another one in California. It's Orange County in California. I know that.
Right. Yeah. Some of these states, they have the same names. It's really, like, you know, that's true. Like you have to be kind of clear of what state are you talking about, especially if you put, like if you put in just like say Orange County and you put that in your GPS, you
Uh-huh.
might get, we had in this situation where we didn't put in the state, and we was in Jersey and we was trying to get directions, and we only put the street, and it took us to another town. We was in the wrong town. And
No,
we
that'll
said,
happen.
yeah, you have reached your destination, and we didn't know where we were, so they took us to another town. So we, you know things like that can happen.
Yes,
But
you got
this
to be
is,
very precise when you don't. You're going to a
yeah,
foreign place. 'Cause it'll
yeah.
freak you.
But this is a sad story. So they have different law enforcement agencies involved in finding, and because I guess it sounds like wherever they were at, there was no cameras, because it was in the woods. It's a wooded area. It's in a ravine,
Uh-huh.
so it's not like the city where it's just buildings and stuff like that. So that
That got
was,
to be scary, man. Going to get your daughter up and she's not even home. Mm-mm-mm.
yeah, yeah.
Can't,
He just
can't
went
even
into
sit.
her room. That's like you going into your room and your kid's not there, and it's like, well, wait a minute. you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a Saturday. Where they go at 10 o'clock in the morning? Most teenagers, like to sleep late on the weekends, unless they have something to do. So that, she's only 14, so that, with all the craziness going on, that's a parent's fear too. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but I think kids have
That
been
is a
sneaking out
nightmare.
for. Yeah, it's definitely a nightmare. And then to end up having it end the way it ended.
Well, because of
That
their age, I'm quite sure they probably told people. So something will definitely come up because
Right, maybe talking with their friends, because that's
yeah,
true. You know how the friends always know stuff that the parents don't know.
yep. So
So
something will
that's,
come up,
yeah.
man.
That I saw that story. That was a tough story. I said, wow, that's, that
Yeah,
could
well, at least he got some money to put up because that seems like what will catch somebody. 10,000 hours, somebody's gonna talk.
yeah, yeah.
You know, ten
And he
thousand
said
dollars.
cash. The grandfather, he ain't playing. He's
The boys' family should put something up too. Shoot, the more
right, but
money, the
see, that's the
more
other
you
thing.
know.
Well, that's the other thing too. A lot of places, everybody doesn't have money, and
No, I know.
so it could be many different factors and stuff like that. It could
Well,
be, it's not
don't the
that they
city have a reward? I know that crime coppers they could put something
sometimes
on that.
in some of these towns they do, and then that's why, depending, I mean, don't get me wrong, this one is really a bad story in the sense that the town, this is still fresh, so maybe the town will go ahead and get involved with increasing that amount.
hmm
How they're going to match it, and now it's 25,000, and stuff like that. So it's, um, because they notice that in most places, you start talking money, then people come out of the woodwork,
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
we get real.
And for this
Wouldn't
guy,
believe it.
he's,
Ain't even that much money sometimes. A couple of
yeah,
$1,000,
right,
somebody
right.
give up a
So
family member.
right, and 10,000 may not be a lot to some people, but 10,000 could be a whole lot to someone else.
Yeah.
Especially, this is shame. It's
So he's a
you see
football
how it's
player,
all
huh?
wooded area. It's,
And he was a football player, right?
yeah, he's a football player.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's,
Not nice.
yeah, both high school students, you know,
Yep.
and they
Got their
go to
whole
different
life ahead of them.
schools.
Oh, so they're in
Yeah,
different schools. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they're in different schools.
What makes it even? Yeah, somebody will know something because they probably been hooking up. She probably told her girlfriend, and like I
Yeah,
said,
and then
I
probably
I
little
want to get
towns
back
too.
on the story. It's probably one of those love triangles. She might have been dating somebody else, and somebody told them they followed them, and hey, got
Yeah,
jealous. Maybe seen them getting busy because that
yeah,
they probably met up in the woods, do their thing, and something,
right. And she
or
probably
it could
figured,
be a serial killer out there. That's why I would think this, something like that. Remember, this is not like somebody hurt their foot or something. They was shot up multiple times, so that just
right,
doesn't happen on the regular. So
right.
it's
You
definitely
know,
a unique type of case. That doesn't happen on the regular.
yeah,
And
they could be in the wrong place,
both of
wrong
them was
time.
killed. Yeah, that
Yeah,
as well. That as well. But I don't know. I get a feeling that they know, the perpetrator. I think, which is
yeah.
happens most times. Yes.
You
So
know,
what
because
happened?
it's all assumption. Like whoever picked her up, she knew who it was that she got in the person's car. So, so it's
Well, it was the boy. No.
we don't.
Yeah.
They don't say.
Uh, yeah. Well,
They don't say. The witness only said that she saw a young girl at 3 o'clock in the morning get into a car.
Oh, there
That's
was a
where
witness. Hmm.
right. There was a witness, and the dogs because the dogs followed her scent from the house. She walked through the woods
Oh,
to a
okay.
clearing, and that's where the trail stopped.
Mm.
So that was, and then like I said, it was the other people that found the actual body, but there was another witness that's near the crime scene that said she heard 15 shots that night during the night.
Mm.
So that,
15 shots. Well, that happens a lot down that way. People testing out their
yeah,
artillery, so that probably wasn't
yeah,
too much of an eye raiser.
yeah. So it's
Mm-mm-mm.
no, that's
Yes. Make sure you watch your surroundings.
yeah. But I don't know. It's been going on for generations where, kids don't conversate. There's certain things they don't say, talk to their parents about. But as you've said many times, the temperature is different these days. So now is not the time to be sneaking out. And you always always a safer thing to let your parents know where you're going. And if it's against whatever rules your parents may have, because remember at 14, it may have been that they still didn't want her people have rules like during the week, you got to be in by a certain time, or you can't stay up late, or whatever,
Hmm.
or you can't hang out with people too much older than you. Different parents have different rules. You know,
Yeah, that boy was what, 4 years older than her? So
uh, yeah,
he was
he's 4 years older.
he was 17 or
He's
18.
he's 18 and she's
Oh,
14.
she was 18. Okay, so he's 4 years
No,
older
no,
than
the
her.
boy is 14. I'm sorry, the girl is 14 and the boy is 18.
No, that's what I said.
Yeah, yeah,
Four
he's
years
the
older than her.
senior in high school and she's the freshman in high school.
Wow,
You know.
not a good thing. They both had their whole life ahead of them. So what else you
Yeah.
got?
And another story I have, and this happened down in Houston, Texas. Okay. This woman was coming out of a check cashing place.
Damn.
And when she went to her car, that's a truck that you see. And when she was going to her truck, the suspect came up with a gun and told her give him her keys. And so she struggled with him. He was choking her. This 73-year-old grandfather of 11 saw the man choking the woman, and he goes to help. So you see him, he struggles with him and everything else. He yanks him from the driver's seat and stuff, and they struggle for a few seconds or whatever, and the suspect pistol whips him. So he ended
Mm.
up needing stitches and stuff. So the suspect was able to get back in the vehicle and carjack the car and left, and he's still at large. The
Ooh.
woman is okay, and
Where this happened at?
this happened in Houston, Texas.
Texas. Wow.
So, again, this is someone coming out of a check cashing place. So, that happens too. A lot of people, they monitor the goings and comings of people coming out of check cashing place, and they look at them as easy marks. Now, he didn't take her money. He just wanted her vehicle.
Mm.
So it's,
Crazy.
yeah,
What type of drug
yeah,
they on?
yeah, and it's a 2011. It's a 2011 vehicle, so you don't know if it has tracking on it or not. Because the older models, they didn't have that. Like how somebody could track your car.
Yeah.
So I don't know if back in 2011 they could.
Yeah, some
Yeah,
people got tracking, some people don't. Depends.
yeah,
Yeah, but they'll get the car whether they'll catch the
right. With
guy in it
cameras
or
and
not.
stuff, and they'll see the license, and then plus she'll give up her license plate, a number and stuff.
Yeah, once they put an APB, it's a wrap.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know, man. Stealing a car, you gonna get some time. Grand Theft
yeah.
Auto.
Grand Theft Auto. Yep. And he's 73. And
Yeah, not to
yeah,
mention he got that assault. Yeah, whoever did that's gonna
yeah.
really pay. Them judges don't be sympathetic beating up old people.
No, no.
Yes. Yes. Another fruitless crime.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm just glad that the grandfather, this grandfather's okay. You know,
Uh-huh.
but you know, but like he said, it could have been, he saw a woman in distress, and he said, there was nobody else to help, and
Uh-huh.
so he just jumped right into it, and that's old school, like you was mentioning that too. The way it happened years ago, people just they'd get involved. It wouldn't be, anything like this. Now of
Yep.
course things have gotten crazy where a lot of people, they either pull out their phones and start taping, or they're shocked and they watch, or they leave the area, or some people are getting tired of all this stuff going on and they become a good Samaritan, which
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it ends really good and then sometimes it turns really sour real quick,
True.
you know.
Mm-mm.
But it's I mean, so the thing is that so you have to be so careful. I mean, everyone is on edge anyway, the way things are now. You have to travel in pairs or groups and stuff like that, and you gotta, for the person that's not paranoid, you're turning into someone paranoid because you're looking around, and stuff, uh, more than you used to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing. A lot of people today, they're not wearing their headphones like they used to before. Some people, especially like here in New York, on the trains, they're not wearing headphones at all.
Hmm.
At all. Nope.
Well, they got earbuds on, no?
Nope. 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 None of that. Nope.
You wanna hear what's going on, huh?
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Wow, the
it's
world that we are. I'll be in New York in a couple of months. So getting that money from you ladies when we have this little. Uh, yeah, I'm
second
rustling
place,
up.
gentlemen.
I'm
Second
rustling up my
place.
Yeah, we gonna take the train too. Oh yeah, we going from the Bronx. We going from
We'll
the
put you,
Bronx and Brooklyn.
we'll,
Hmm.
well,
You gotta
you'll
remember, I'm
have
coming out.
service.
I'm coming up with a bunch of people from the West Coast, Southwest. So
Yeah.
you know how everybody gonna want to see the Statue of Liberty, all that old craziness. So yeah,
Yeah.
we gonna do.
Well, see, you guys will be traveling in a group, which is good, you know. But don't
Oh
don't
yeah.
don't don't sleep. you
Sleep
know.
is get slept on. No, we gonna have fun. We gonna have fun.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's a lot of fun things here, and this is my home, so there's a lot of nice things in New York. The only thing is that it's gotten a lot rougher, so you have to be careful. A lot of people, they're either doing the Ubers, or there's a lot of people, they don't care the bus takes a long time. Not that the buses take a long time to come, it just takes a long time because of traffic. But a lot of people are taking the bus because they rather be up above ground
Well,
versus
there's not
underground.
as many buses as there was before. I heard they chopped down the buses and
They've chopped down, that's true, they've chopped down the buses, but we still have more bus lines than a lot of these other cities.
Hmm.
you know. So we have there's a lot of bus lines. But yes, where before you would have a bus like every 3 minutes or something like that. Now you can wait like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and the weekends could get more stretched out and stuff, but
Mhm.
it's yeah. But most cities they don't have. It's just like cabs. Like here, you have cabs all over the place. Whereas in a lot of these other states, I had went to a wedding this is years ago in
Mhm.
Connecticut, and they only had two cabs for the whole town. And I was like, what? I couldn't believe this. I was like, really? So they said, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to. So when I heard that, I didn't know that because I got a cab from the airport, but I was told the town only has two cab drivers. So if one is sick, then you only have one, and if both are sick, or if they're both not available, you got to get cabs from an adjoining county. I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
wow. You can't, there's no flagging. You can connect, there's no flagging. Mm-mm. Nope.
No.
Nope. So you have to, if you need a cab, you got to call them like 4 hours before. So God forbid you have an emergency. It ain't gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
You better have your
But
own
now
horse
they,
to
but
carry.
this is before they had Ubers, and I'm pretty sure now with Ubers and stuff it might be different. But just to hear how a town only had two cabs for the whole town,
How
and I
many
mean
people in the town?
I don't know. I mean, it was a small town. I was only there for a
Yeah.
wedding for the weekend,
Yeah.
so it was, but I was
Oh.
just shocked. I'm like, do you know how many cabs are out in New York? It's thousands.
Mhm.
Okay, thousands of them. You got the yellow cabs, the gypsy cabs. It's wow. Whew. That was. I said, okay, I got to go home and tell everybody this. So that was,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a little crazy.
Uh,
But shout out Crip Mac. Yes, I spoke to his manager yesterday. He's in good spirits. We got a song releasing pretty soon. I hope he gets out pretty soon. SB, my son, he got a song with him. It's called Fire. In fact, I think we started the show with it. But yeah, he's having a phase up in jail. You know what I mean? I spoke to ODM Slim. Shout out ODM Slim, my West Coast peoples. He got a couple of groups we're gonna try to bring up to Phoenix, Arizona. But yeah, he said Pit Max in good spirits. He had a couple of brush-ins while he was in the county and everything. But I guess he had beef with this guy Jap Five, and I guess they have fought. Now they cool and everything. So that
okay.
goes to show you, yeah. And from what I gather, they wish they never beat. So I think we got
Yeah.
some jobs to do, MNC. We're gonna definitely bring a lot of stuff to as they say, put it on ice. There's a lot
Right.
of these situations, believe it or not, where the conversation can be quotes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely gonna be one of our missions because we,
Yeah.
we just hate to see things get as you see things are getting worse and worse instead of
Yeah.
better and better.
And it's
So
best for everybody uniting. It makes it all everybody stronger, and then and you could it's like
well,
the
the more people
communities.
unite, yeah, more people unite, the,
It's
the,
true.
the more you're able to weed out the negativity, weed
Exactly.
out the nonsense. You know what I mean? And things that people might not see before. It's not that people are stupid, not that people are animalistic. They
Yeah.
maybe just don't get it because this is what they're raised for. Just think about it. If you was
Yeah.
raised with nothing but violence, nothing but
Yeah.
you should kill your ops, as they say, and do all this bantering that's definitely unnecessary. You beat somebody's ass,
Right.
you don't need to run around gloating about it, and that's
Yeah.
basically what this
Yeah.
demon time is. It's nothing but negative, negative, negative. It's not even. I don't even remember the last time I heard a good rap love song. Something like El Cool J, I Need Love. When I'm
Right.
alone up my room, sometimes I stare at the wall. Something like that because
Yeah.
everything else is so cluttered with the not even an R&B song, a good R&B song without the heavy sexual innuendos.
Yeah.
Like what the hell? What happened to like them Keith Sweat songs or.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, it's definitely and then you like I was telling you before, you got more technology now. You would think it'd be better movies, better music, but
Yeah.
it's worse. You got the young youth now listening to music from the '90s
Yeah.
and
That's
down.
true.
Like
Yep.
so that right there shows you something's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
So Yeah, it's definitely like I said, shout out to Crip Mac. Hope you get out in one piece. You know, it's a hard thing. You
Yeah.
know, and hopefully, SB, my son, he always wanted to tell him face to face, take that damn tattoo off his head. You know what I mean? Because he don't want nothing to happen to him. You know, because he
Right.
asked me, he said, what's that on his forehead? So I explained it to him, and I was explaining to him how, the gang members, they'll actually write if you see his forehead, it says Hoover Killer.
Right.
Okay. And in fact, that's why when we did the video, it's a cartoon video that we did. I'll put it on here once we release the single, couple of weeks. But on the video, we instead of putting Hoover, I put an X over the H.
Right.
You know what I mean? To not be disrespectful, and because that's just disrespectful. And like I said, down the line, we definitely gonna at least ask him. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
hopefully he has some people get out of jail and they have a change of heart. They see things for what it is,
Yeah.
and being now that he's cool with the Hoovers, so I'm quite sure he might want to take that shit off.
Yeah.
Because it's so much stuff going on now, and
Yeah.
man, when I say divide and conquer, we damn near conquered because of the division that's
Yeah.
going on, and that's from the East
Yeah.
Coast to the West Coast.
No, it's true. It's
You
true.
see, it's on fire in New York. Not saying it wasn't in the crack era, but it was a level of respect.
Yeah.
You wasn't doing this funkiness around kids, around women. And, once sure, I remember somebody didn't even hit a kid, but just sprayed around too close to a kid and got hemmed up from the
Yeah.
streets. Okay, they shot on boy, didn't kill him, but they shot him up. He won't be doing that again. And if you
Right.
remember, it wasn't drive-bys prevalent in
No.
the 90s. You know what I mean?
No.
That wasn't a thing. You was teased, mocked if you did something like that. You were
Yeah.
called a coward. That was more or less a California thing. And
Yeah.
now they have adopted that to the point where shit, they shooting off
Yeah.
little mopeds, just shooting aimlessly. You
Yeah.
know?
That's happening. I hear in a lot of places, not just
Oh
New
yeah.
York, but that's happening in a lot. And that everybody can't just get down on the ground. And it may be too late. It's or you move one way thinking they're not going to get you, and you're moving right into the line of fire. You
Yeah,
know.
but a lot of times those, you got to remember, if somebody's coming on a bike, you might think it's a noise from the bike. You ever hear people that, it depends what kind of
Exactly.
caliber gun. See, people think just
Yep.
because a gun goes off, you're going to know it's a gun. A lot of times you might think it's a muffler from a car until, like you
Exactly. A
said, until
backfire.
you,
Yep.
until you hit. Next thing you know, you're like, oh, shoot, I didn't even know it was gunshots. I thought it was just somebody playing around
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something hit the floor hard.
Yeah. And some
So,
people, they don't even realize they're shot until they either feel the blood running down, and then when they look at it, it's like, woo,
no,
you
yeah, yeah.
know.
You got to remember, especially if you're running, or your
Exactly.
your height, because the
Yes.
adrenaline.
The
That's why
adrenaline. Yes.
you don't feel the bullet shot to that. The adrenaline wears down a
Yeah.
little bit. Next thing you know, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
You might feel that initial heat, but yeah, oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
going to get shot. That ain't the move.
And then also with a lot of people, once they see their own blood, their body's like, oh, Houston, we got a problem here. One of those things, and like, you go down and say,
Well, you get a panic
I,
mode. You get a
you
panic mode.
definitely,
You'll definitely
definitely,
get a
and
panic mode.
but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that people have to run. Kids, older people that either have some kind of handicap, that they're either, you know, um, they're they're healing up from either a leg wound or a damaged ankle, or it could be many things. Everybody
Mm.
can't run.
It's
You
somebody
know,
I'm looking for, man. I'm looking for my boy Ice T. Shout out Ice T. You ever come across
hey,
this? Yeah, he's out here. His baby mother, she's from Phoenix, so I've been trying to bump into him, man. So we could definitely get him on board, with
yeah,
the Winter Cipher program, as far as trying to seize the nonsense that's going on. Now he put out
right,
a couple of things, basically warning people about LA. It kind of rubbed me a little bit the wrong way. I want to tell him because not that he should get a different approach, and I'm quite sure he might be exhausted from it because remember he's from the old school, and I'm quite he's helped out before trying when they had
yeah,
the what was that when they had the truce in the 90s with the gang members and everything.
yeah,
But somebody like him, MFC, I think he's very influential because
Oh yeah,
He
definitely.
has a wide span. You know what I mean.
Yes.
He
Yes,
could
he does.
talk that talk, and because he basically made it out. Remember, he was
Yeah.
deep into the gang culture. You know what I mean. He never
Yeah.
really outwardly claimed a specific gang, but he was definitely tied
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And somebody like him, of course he
Yeah.
would want to do things from a distance, but I have no problem with that. My thing would be just be with
Yeah.
him is let people know that this ain't right, man. Of course that's
Yeah.
to change the culture, because it's not like you're gonna stop
Right.
gangs.
And
But
because
my
just
my
like you
thing,
said, him being grown when he was growing up, the culture was not like that. You
no,
know.
no, he
So
came up. You got to remember, Ice T came up when the Crips and the Bloods basically was starting in
right.
LA. Okay, he came up, all those Tookie and all those guys. He basically, he was not running with them, but running in their circles. So, what I mean, he knows them, they know of him, and he could, like I said, he's one that can speak that talk, and people will listen, not just because of his fame, but just because his insight. Like, you got to remember, he knows that whole gang culture out there. He's the he if anybody, Ice T would be the one. And he has a good heart. You can tell he's a compassionate
Yes, he
guy.
does.
He'll
Yes.
be down with something like that. Like I
Yeah.
said, and I wouldn't ask for his help, but something from the distance. You know what I mean? We could do the good
Right.
work.
Oh
We
yeah.
just need your
Oh yeah.
assistance, because what we need pioneers out on the West Coast, the
Yeah.
same as the East Coast, and we're gonna
Yeah.
bring them together. And like I
Yeah.
said, and weed out the nonsense, and start businesses, do things that you know what I mean is gonna benefit both sides.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of like countries getting together. You're meeting countries together. You're meeting states
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
And like I said,
And you get stronger
if
by
you're not
you
if
know
you're not with it, stay to the side. You could just
yeah,
watch. You want to
becoming
be a
allies, you
spectator?
become stronger.
No, yeah, it makes no sense. It's like, come on, now you're constantly killing each other, and it's to the point where, like Ice T put up a post on MFC. He was talking about, oh, don't come out west, and you can't wear your jewelry, and this is the part that I want to explain to him that I don't really get like that, because people talk about people sell out because they leave the neighborhoods they grew up in, but here it is, they're being murdered in those neighborhoods. They can't even live there because they're being hated on in those
Right.
neighborhoods, those communities.
That's
So,
true.
you ain't got to be a rocket scientist to know we got to clean up our neighborhoods, our communities.
Yeah.
That's common sense. And we
Yeah.
talking about clean it up. You know what I mean? Don't just sweep it under the couch. Clean it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Lift everything up. You know what I mean? Do a big house. We cleaning
But
it
then
up.
it's still, again, it always goes back to the people that you vote and put into power in your district,
Exactly.
you know?
I get what you're saying with that, but we're talking about
Yeah.
a street element. The
No, no, I
political
know.
element,
I know.
the political element will shine in as well. But then that
Because
also
they
falls
could bring the
into
money into the neighborhoods to fix
no,
up
but
places
but
and
they have to. You
build.
know why they have to? It might not be the first term, but by that second term, we're gonna be behind somebody. We meaning
That's
that
true.
that we at West Coast and East Coast. You feel me? So
That's true.
now, or we put somebody in place that we deem good, that's gonna
Right.
do benefit us. There's no problem with that. See, that's
Yep.
the thing. People you don't always gotta take what they give you. You put your own person in place.
Yeah.
Why people are not doing that? That's not
Yeah.
So that's what I would go to these people like a Ice T or Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? People that the streets are gonna listen. And then it's not like you're teaching them nothing that's wrong. This is
Yeah.
total positive. You feel me?
No, it's
And
true.
that
It's
then
true.
it's no excuse. So now, you know what I'm saying, the gang member can't come and say, and then it's looked at totally different. You just took a
Yeah.
negative and made it totally positive.
Yeah.
And then off the really what gang started from were the ashes from Black Panthers, the Black Liberation Party. These are where the Bloods and the Crips actually came from. So you mean to
Yeah.
tell me those ancestors are in their graves going crazy? Like, look
Yeah.
what the hell I started. Look, and then on top of that, you know what I mean? The people like Huey Newton, the people, you know what I'm saying? All those Black Panthers, okay? Ones in
Yeah.
jail, ones that died. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here it is. You're doing a disservice. You
Yeah.
can't even get rich and stay in your community like they
Yeah.
did back in the 20s, the 30s. You had doctors in Harlem and Sugar Hill, that whole area. You might have
Yep.
lived in a nicer little neighborhood, but you still was in your community.
That's true.
Okay, you didn't have to worry about coming outside. I read those stories with Duke Ellington and all these people. Like, yeah, they lived on
Yeah.
125th Street. What?
Yes.
So how did that change in the span of 30, 50 years to the
Yeah.
point where, what I mean, that Jay-Z can't even stay in Marcy or buy a house in the neighbor
Yeah.
area because he'll be kidnapped. He'll be, what I mean? Probably
Yeah.
murdered because of hate.
Yeah.
And this is a community he grew up in.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, we're gonna call him a sellout because he don't come back to the neighborhood. That makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
At all. Just like people are saying, yeah, I granted, PNB Rock, he was in South Central, but why can't he go to a South, a eatery in South Central? Yeah, okay, I get it. He's dangling his steak in front of wolves, but like, come on now. I don't. And this is the part that might sound a little crazy, but let's say Justin Bieber was in it. You think Justin Bieber would have been treated the same way?
But see,
You
that's
got
the
to think
thing.
about it. See,
You know,
you got to think about it. You got to think. Let's say put the same jewelry on him. Because I was thinking about that. I was like,
yeah.
they might have robbed him, but I don't think they would have shot him like that. But then let me not go that far because I heard these only allegations that he's fighting back, that he didn't just give the jewelry up. That's why they shot him down.
Right.
So that part I can somewhat see, but even that,
Yeah.
I've seen multiple people get shot. You shoot somebody in the leg, it's a wrap. All that
Yeah.
all that resistance is going out the window. And then
Yeah.
maybe if they keep on, then maybe okay, you might have to clap them. But I mean, they shot him like 2 times in the back, and just crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, just shot him down like a dog. And the sad part is, I think his kid was so young, but he has an older daughter. He has 2 daughters, so hopefully he didn't have the older one because that's very traumatic to see your father
Right.
die in front, to see him die
Right.
in that
That's
fashion
true.
in front of you. Remember, he was
That's
reaching out.
true.
He was on the floor, and you could tell he was he was basically losing himself. So
Yeah.
that's all around messed up. And then to blame the girl, you can't even drop a location no more. That's
Yeah.
animal. That is animalistic. You mean to tell me I
Right.
can't be in a restaurant and be so happy that this is what people do now.
Yeah.
They want to show off. You drop a location. Same thing as
Yeah.
the person before. They might snapshot a picture. Remember, you went to a club back in the days. They had those Polaroid pictures. You took a picture. You showed your friends. Hey,
Right.
I was at the club, my girls, and it's something like
Right. But
that.
see, when you did that Polaroid, when you did that Polaroid picture, it didn't show people in social media where you were. Okay. Now, something that
No,
Nicki Minaj was saying that everybody knows, and she said this is what she said this a few weeks or like a few days after
Nicki
PNB
Minaj needs to be
was killed.
quiet. Nicki
But
Minaj,
she
man, is a
basically was
sex offender.
saying,
Her address, everybody
yeah,
got it. I know what she was saying. I heard what she said.
yeah, with all the
She need to
stuff
mind
that
her damn business.
social
No, I
media,
know.
they say, like she was telling she's telling everybody that, don't, when you're out, don't do anything where your location is,
Yeah, but isn't
because you
that messed
become an
up though?
easily target. You become an
No,
easy
but
target.
isn't that messed up though? Just
That
thinking at
is,
my frame, that is so messed up. Now, granted, I don't do that at all. I'm just a private person where I don't, and even if I was to do it, I probably would do it after the fact, meaning once I left or something like that. I wouldn't,
right,
yeah.
right. It's just like you saying, oh, I'm in the Bahamas. I'm doing this. So now, and you're putting that all out. So people saying, well, wait a minute, that means you're not home. Your house is empty.
Well, that's what happens to all these known rappers when they be going on tour. All of the houses was getting robbed in Atlanta. Remember in
Yeah,
Atlanta, the
but
stuff in Buckhead.
yeah,
That's where that was coming from. All
yeah.
those
You're letting
sport
people know.
athletes, they was systematically robbing them when they knew they weren't
Yes,
home. They were playing
exactly.
games somewhere or something like that, and
Yeah,
that's social media for you. But you gotta remember this is what the generation does. That's like you was born into the generation, MFC. You're gonna
yeah,
do some of these things. Some of these things that you might look at and me like, that's a little overboard, but that's normal to them. To these kids,
right.
they damn near wanna put their whole every move they do, they wanna put it out there. You
Yeah.
know? And that
See, and,
started
and
from the self.
and like you
Think
said,
about
in
it, the
my generation,
selfies.
we were raised to keep that stuff tight to your
No,
chest.
but think about it. The whole selfie thing. What the hell? You taking a picture of yourself? No, but that's a big thing. Think about it.
I
Hey,
know,
take
I know,
hey, where you at? Take me a selfie. You know, it's like
I know,
you got dudes be saying that shit now. I'm like, oh brother.
I know,
Yeah,
I
so
know.
hey, take me. They even got a selfie stick. I got a selfie sticks in one of my
Yes,
damn drawers. Somebody got
yep,
me like, I mean, one of them
yep,
things that has the button, so you can actually put
yeah.
the phone on it, and it has the button you can press. Or
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
okay.
definitely. Oh no, that selfies is out there, but again, it's a thing of, you know, look how many people have done the selfies and they wanted to have that perfect shot and they fall off the Grand Canyon or they
Oh yeah.
fall off that mountain. That's the last thing they do, or the piece, whatever they're that ledge that they're at gives way, you know, just to
Oh,
have
be
that
quiet, be
first.
quiet. I was just watching this video. This guy, like Russia or someplace in Europe, right? One of those places, and he was going, on those, like, say you're building a skyscraper, you know how they have those beams. He's actually, and this is illegal, of course. He's doing backflips on the roof. I mean, like, not even a foot. Oh yeah, just crazy. Like, there's
Yeah,
no room for error at all. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Oh
there's
yeah.
no safety net. No, it's true.
Oh
It's
yeah.
true.
Those people
So
definitely.
it's
Social media got people, and I blame it on those that Mad TV. Those people, remember they was making them crazy movies where they take the
yeah,
shopping cart, go down. Yeah, now they got the
yeah.
challenges. In fact, I'm gonna pull up one of the stories because this kid just got
Oh,
killed.
there's
I want to
two
say,
challenges. There's two challenges now.
what's that? There's a whole bunch. There's more than two.
Well,
MFC.
one challenge I saw, it's about the chips, these spicy chips or whatever, and
Yeah.
they challenge you to eat the chip and
Mm.
to wait as long as you can before drinking or eating anything, and
Uh huh.
then make a note and post it on social media. And adults and kids are being taken to they have to be taken to the hospital in excruciating pain. Now that's one. Now there's another one where they're telling you to cook your cooked chicken in Tylenol,
Hmm?
okay, and then eat it.
Cook
So
what?
cooked chicken in Tylenol.
No, it's
That's
Nyquil.
NyQuil. I'm sorry, NyQuil.
Yeah,
Well,
come
it's
on
it's
now.
a
You
cough
gotta get the
medicine.
story right. Come on now. How you
It's
gonna
a cough
tell the goddamn?
medicine, NyQuil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how
but
you
anyway,
gonna?
so the thing is that, and then, so the experts are warning you that when this kind of medicine is heated up, the fumes of it you can inhale it, and then it could be like double the dosage or whatever. And you could do damage to yourself. That's the first thing. The second thing is they said never cook
Mm.
anything, never cook, with this stuff.
I want to
But
try
there's a
that out,
challenge.
man. I don't know. I gotta try that out. That
That's
might put you. Why it
crazy.
put you to sleep or something? Because
No,
Nyquil
it
puts you to
messes up
sleep,
your
right?
body.
Does Nyquil
NyQuil,
put you to
okay.
sleep?
Yes, a normal dose of NyQuil will put you to sleep. Yes. But if you overdo it, it could also affect other organs of your body.
Wow.
That's why they warn you. They warn you not to
Who came
overdo
Who came
X
up with
amount of.
that? These ladies was telling me somebody was cleaning their chicken with bleach. You ever seen that? With
Uh,
actual Clorox bleach.
well, the first time, the first time I went to wash collard greens, I was told you have to wash them. So I used dish detergent. And my mom came and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm washing the collard greens." She saw the bubbles and she said, "You're throwing those away." She said, "That's not what washing means." And so,
Hmm.
oh yeah. So I can imagine, you know, yeah, no.
So,
If you're gonna do
uh,
anything, it's vinegar you put, on stuff to kill out bacteria and stuff like that. Uh, you
man,
know,
so people are really using NyQuil. That's great.
yeah,
And
NyQuil.
they using Theraflu.
See, I told you it was different thing. Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-mm-mm.
It's like, why,
Yes.
so I
Mm-mm-mm.
feel there's too many people that have too much time on their hands. But unfortunately, you have people that when they see these challenges, they just, I could do that, but Yeah, that's
Well, I know somebody that got burnt on doing a fire. It was a fire challenge a couple of years ago, and yeah, I know somebody that burnt their damn chest.
well. Look at that challenge where they would your so-called friends would knock you off your feet, and you'd bang your head, and look how many kids got hurt and
Hmm.
had damage done to their skulls and stuff like that. You know, or
Yes, no
messed up their
challenges.
spines.
No challenges for me. I'm good to go. Life is a challenge in itself.
Yeah.
I am
So
good to go.
that's why I always communicate with the kids and the grandkids. Look, there's no challenges, then that's, because
Now we
you
used to
had
do
as
stupid. We used to do stupid stuff like we would go by and like say we walk in, it'd be like six of us. We'll push somebody in the garbage, but that stopped because my boy Joe got cut. Shout out Joe Jones, crazy nigga from Decatur. Yeah, he got cut.
yeah.
He got pushed into garbage, and there was some broken bottles. But we would
Oh
do stupid shit like
no.
that. See a
Yeah.
40, we would throw it up. You got six guys, we throwing up a bottle to see, till it breaks, and whoever broke, they got to buy a 40. The stupid stuff like that we did. We didn't,
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't, with the. Well, I guess they didn't
Now
have
see,
TikTok at the time, so I guess.
my
But
mama she would have beat my butt on live TV.
on live TV, you got beat
Live
on live.
TV. She would have beat me while the
Oh yeah,
reporter's there.
let me come home find my damn boy making some damn night pulled chicken. Shit. Let me get a piece of that. No,
And
yeah, we don't do this
both of
shit.
you guys will be in the ER
No, but
together.
I think I told them because they was doing something where they was putting cinnamon. It was a cinnamon challenge, right? They was taking cinnamon, you got to put it in your mouth and shit for like a minute or something like that. Because I guess when you take a spoon of cinnamon, it kind of chokes you. It does something like I said, you can't breathe.
Yeah.
So that was a challenge, and I know a lot of people got hurt. But the crazy part is, say you're doing something like that alone, and you just pass out, you don't fuck around and die.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
don't want to, or like you were saying, you up here inhaling them fumes. If that stuff puts you to sleep, and the reason why I say that because think about it, those damn the fentanyl pills. What they do is they either crush them up and sniff them, or they call it chasing the dragon. They put it on that aluminum foil and burn it. You know how people used to do the heroin.
Right.
They do that because I've seen a person do that, and they inhale the fumes. That's how they get high. So think about it.
Yeah.
If you're taking a
Yeah.
NyQuil and you're cooking it, that's probably why the doctors are saying to inhale those fumes can
Yeah.
hurt you. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. You mess around, mess yourself up trying to play a damn TikTok challenge. You
And
better
then think about it.
call it a
If you're
day.
cooking this stuff and pass out, you now have an unattended
No, that's what I'm
pot.
saying. You got a fire.
You could burn down your
Shit.
house.
Yeah. You gonna.
Yeah,
Think
because
about it.
you're gonna be out.
Once that dries out, yeah. Once that dries out, say you got that on a
Yep.
good fire, it's a bizac. You better not have nothing around that stove because that's how a lot of
Yeah.
fires start. Yeah,
Yeah.
once
That's
that
why when
grease
I heard
burns out,
that,
it's dried out. Yeah, but it just like I said, overall, you got one body. You don't want to play around and do
no,
these stupid
no.
mischievous games that just make no sense. I'm
Yeah.
all with the fun and games, but once you start doing stupid shit like that, I don't even. That's why I don't even do the lean MFC. That promethazine and codeine, that's they put in the soda and all that shit, and man, it messes. When I say that
Well,
messes
let me
your
tell you,
body up.
that thing that I think you mentioned that to me about how you take a menthol and put it in the soda and how it like busts, and I'm
Mhm.
like, wow. And so I talked to my grandkids and I said, did you guys see that? They said, no, you can't eat a menthol and then have some soda.
Yeah.
I'm like, who told you that? I never knew this. Lucky I don't eat Mentos, but still. So imagine your a kid takes that and whatever it burst, and
Well,
you
the
see.
acid, you got to remember the acid in your stomach. It's not gonna go as crazy as the
Well,
soda because you have those
they did a
acids in
test
your stomach.
with a Coke bottle, and they put
No,
that
I
mental in
know,
it,
and then
and it
and you
just like
shake it
it's
up, it blows. But you got to remember the acids in your stomach would diffuse that to a degree. You're still gonna have a
yeah,
stomach ache. That's why it's not good. Same thing
yeah,
with milk. You drink milk, and some people, certain types of sodas or milk with some things, it'll set some
like you can't
people
have
off.
milk with lemon juice. Of course
Yeah.
not. That occurred it up.
So it's different thing, and people you got to remember. Some people, a lot, especially with milk, a lot of people I know some people that drink milk and they get big stomach problems. So
Yeah. So
yeah,
well, some people are lactose intolerant. That's why.
I'm noticing a lot of people are allergic to peanuts.
Well,
Carries.
that's that part about the peanuts. It also goes back to where you get these peanuts from, because I notice, I'll use me for example. Um, I use Planters. When I eat Planters peanuts, I'm cool. But when I get a no name, no frill, a frill kind of, offbeat kind of brand,
Yeah.
my body, my skin starts itching. I get rashes. So,
Damn.
because the peanuts come from anywhere, and they, every place isn't as quality concern kind of thing. So
Hmm.
that's why for me, I'll pay more money for Planters,
Okay.
and but yeah, but no, with the peanut, but you're right. A lot of people now have these peanut allergies and stuff like that. Look at that little. There was a poor kid. This happened a few years ago, before COVID, and the kid was in preschool at a daycare,
Yeah.
and the kid was hungry, so the person there made him a peanut butter sandwich, not
Mm.
knowing that the kid is allergic, highly allergic.
Oh
It
yeah.
was in the file, but the person didn't know, and the kid had an attack and died. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh
before
yeah.
the EMS
Seafood does
got
that
there.
too, man. Seafood, man. You allergic to seafood, you better watch out.
Right. That's why
That stuff
with
will
so many people with
clog your
allergies,
air pipes.
and you basically suffocate to death
Yep.
unless you have someone there that's medical trained that they could give you a trach
Hmm.
in your neck.
Yes. It could be
You know.
really, really messed up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why in a lot of places that people that go out to eat, the good places, that you have the cloth tablecloth and real silver and a real plate. you know, if you have any allergies, a good place person will say, well, this is what we have, this is this, and do you have any food allergies? And they'll even tell you what is in this dish. Does
Mm.
it have, cilantro? Because there's people that have issues with cilantro, you know. Cilantro, of course, is a seasoning, but with some people, it tastes like rusted metal
Mm.
and stuff like that. Yeah. So people have all different, just like eggs. Like some people can eat eggs and they're okay. Other people can't eat eggs.
Yeah.
Okay. Or certain, even like tomatoes. Like a lot of people could eat tomatoes, but then there's some people that can't eat tomatoes.
Yep.
So they have
See.
to ask if they eat out and someone else is preparing the stuff. They have to say, look, does your thing have, does this have tomatoes in it? Because I can't have tomatoes or onions. You have some people that can't handle onions,
Oh yeah. A lot of
so,
people.
right. So
A
it's,
lot of people.
just like garlic, so it's a thing that, but you're right. What you're saying is that there's more and more over the last generation of people with these peanut allergies and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And like even the milk, like before we used to have just milk, right? You had milk or either what they call powder milk. Now you go in the aisles and they have all kinds of milk. It could be oatmeal milk, it could be soy milk, you know.
Oh,
There's
did
a,
they
there's
have
a lot
that
of
years ago?
no,
No.
no, no, no. You
Mm.
had three milks. You had either your evaporated milk that was in the can, you had your regular milk,
Skim milk.
okay, before they started the 1% and 2% kind, and you had powdered milk, where you take powdered milk was the cheapest one, that you take the powder and you put it in water, and then that's powdered milk, you know, and you'd have to acquire a taste for that. And
Yeah.
that was
That's.
considered fat free. So people, even today, a lot of people still use powdered milk because one is it's a whole lot cheaper, but at the same time it's fat free and all this other good stuff.
Mm.
But again, you have to acquire taste. But like I said again, over the years, look what you got. You got a lot of options with this milk. So it's you know
That's what it is. It's a Wednesday.
yep.
Give us that prayer. We're going to get on to this day. Yes, we got some running around to do. Yes. Let us out in the prayer MFC and hope you have a good day. And we are going to close
Well,
this
with
out
winning
on.
cipher, like I always say, with winning cipher, we always try to bring, stories and newsworthy news to our listeners, and opinions and things like that. And so we want to thank our audience for always coming and sharing with us. And and any comments and stuff you can always put in the comment thing. And Dr. George will get back to you. But please hit the subscribe and like button below. And thank you for coming. And dear God, please look after all the people on their way to work or shopping or to a doctor's appointment. And please let them get back safely to their homes and to their family. Please let everybody have a blessed day. And also, dear God, let people, try to keep in a positive frame of all the things that's going around, especially today with so much stuff happening that's unexpected and unplanned. So, dear God, thank you for looking over us. And everybody from Winning Cipher, we say, please have a blessed day. Amen.
I'm about to go win on this. Turn up my headphones. Yeah. My name is SP. I'm here to empty. Get it right and rock it day, the night. I love my mommy, love my daddy, love my granny too. I gave the princess a kiss on her cheek, and now she call me her boo. Rolling the cruise like that ninja, I be slick with it. I came to hit it. Home run, but yeah, the